Hello, you guys. Welcome back to Channel Claire. Hope that you're having a lovely day wherever you are in this crazy, crazy world. I'm just coming to you with a quick video because I saw this and I'm like, girl. So, if you don't know, Ariana Grande just released a new single. I think it was Friday. I don't think it was Thursday. I'm pretty sure it was Friday. Called Yes and. It's cute. It has a nice beat, very dance, you can shake your thing to it and everything like that. But there's a line within this song that has people like, "Are you for real, Ariana?" Are you for real? And what I've noticed about society, we don't take kindly to cheaters. And I think that's because we have all experienced being cheated on at least once in our lifetime. I feel like that's something that most people have experienced. And then when you have an Ariana situation where she is kind of known for dealing with men who possibly could have been connected with another woman recently and or possibly during her interaction with the man, it kind of brings to question her relationship morals. She is very much not concerned about anything that we have to say, and she's made it clear in this lyric. Okay, so the lyric in question in her new single, Yes and, is, "Your business is your business, and mine is mine. Why do you care so much whose dick I ride?" Now, we all know, if you've followed this situation at all, we all know this is to do with her relationship with Ethan Slater and how potentially the rumor was that it is so windy here, my goodness. The rumor was that Ariana kind of got between the relationship with Ethan and his ex, whom had just recently had a child. So people were like, oh, she's a homewrecker. She took somebody's baby daddy. The timeline is close. And it was everywhere, okay? Everywhere. And especially Ethan's picture. People had all types of things to say about his appearance, the fact that he played SpongeBob, all these things. But she's been out and about with him, going to dinner, going to shows. She's not concerned. She's not fazed. And clearly she feels like, why are y'all in my business? Why does it matter whose dick I ride? No, in the grand scheme of things, that's a true statement. Her business is her business. Nobody should fucking care. But at the end of the day, Ariana Grande, you are actually pretty much an international superstar. And of course, your business is out there because that's what makes you an international superstar. Yes, you're talented. Yes, you sing. Yes, you do movies. Yes, you do this, that, and the other. But scandal, salacious rumors, unfortunately, keep people's names in the news. It keeps people relevant. And I feel like sometimes with these celebrities, they're so quick to say, well, it's not your business. And the thing is, if people weren't talking about you and or talking about your business and didn't care, you wouldn't be where you currently are. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't be relevant. People wouldn't give a fuck. Like, if you should be concerned when people stop talking about you. Don't they say all publicity is good publicity? Like, it doesn't even matter if it's fucking negative. When people stop talking, that's when you need to be concerned. So I get that she's probably frustrated with everybody's input about her and her relationship, calling her a homewrecker because the timeline is really, really close. But girl, the line is like kind of like getting people to side-eye you just a little bit. And people are calling it like you don't have any, I guess, remorse, because the ex of Ethan did come out, saying that she was hurt about this situation and she felt slighted. She did come out and share her side of things, so it kind of gives a different picture to it, whereas Ariana's kind of seeming cold about it. There's like no remorse, there's no empathy, I guess, for the situation. Like, even if, you know, the timeline, although it's close, even if Ethan had broken up with his ex, even though she just had a child, like a new baby, new baby. So say they had this new baby, and shortly, like a month, 2 months after they break up, then he's working with Ariana and they get together. Okay, that could be something. But the timeline is close. And when you've been with somebody as long as Ethan and his ex had been, and you have a child, it takes a long time to get over something like that in your emotions, and to see your ex just so easily move on, and then to move on with the Ariana Grande, that would have to be a lot. That would have to be a lot. So I guess the line in this song, well, the lyric, is a little bit insensitive. It does show lack of empathy, but Ariana is unfazed. She's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. So, well, people are feeling like, because literally all the comments are saying, like, they're negative. They're really, really negative. On the backs of that, a article dropped yesterday about Ariana and the fact that she has this stalker, okay? And I feel like this was done to kind of try to combat the news of her new single out in this lyric that people are kind of taking offense to. Now she's wanting people to like have sympathy for her, but real life, y'all, this is fucking crazy. Like, I don't understand how something like this happens, and her security team, whoever the fuck is doing this shit, it has failed umpteen times, needs to be fired. This headline says Ariana Grande's stalker is finally convicted and will get over 3 years in prison after trying to break into her house almost 100 times. 100. The headline says after breaking into her house almost 100 times. Not saying almost broke in. This is saying he broke in, like actually successfully did it over almost 100 times. Insanity. Apparently this guy broke into Grande's Hollywood Hills estate at least 92 times in 2001. Who the fuck is at the gate at Hollywood Hills letting anybody in? These people pay way too much fucking money for y'all to be letting a stalker in 92 fucking times. That's insane. I would be calling for somebody to lose their job, because what the fuck, 92 times? At what point is a picture not giving to security and you're like, don't let this person in? Or I know like in Hollywood there's like, they're literally in the hills, and maybe he's found some way, some back way through the woods and shit to get into her house. I remember when Britney Spears' ex was like on a hunting trail or a hiking trail, and he got into her house from there. So maybe the stalker did that, but 92 times? And Ariana, I'm sure, has enough money. I'm not even sure, that's a fact. She has enough money to have like 24/7 security. So I'm just not understanding how the F this man was able to break into her home 92 times. I feel like I would not have a second of peace. I would not be able to sleep alone. I would move 92 times? Apparently one time he brandished a hunting knife and was screaming at the guards. And then in 2022 he broke into her Montecito property and was found in a crawl space. What the fuck? The stalker's name is Aharon Zimbulin Israel Brown, and he has been convicted and will be sentenced to 3 years and 8 months in a state prison. He clearly is not going to stop. 92 times. This man is on a mission. He's not going to stop. Wasn't that Sandra Bullock who had that guy break into her home, and like she actually like came face to face with him? Like, that type of shit is so scary to me. Like, it's such a violation to break into somebody's home. Like, it's such a violation. Oh my god. And then this guy was freaking armed. So Ariana apparently has obtained a 5-year restraining order against him. and that was back in 2022. This week, Santa Barbara County District Attorney John Chovanec announced that Brown has pled guilty to first-degree residential burglary, making criminal threats, and stalking someone who has a restraining order out on him already. His sentence has already been decided, and it will officially be doled out on May the 3rd. Ew. That's so crazy, like, that you have to deal with. Like, fame, yes, you get the money, you get the perks, but, like, the nasty side of it, the dark side of it, the fact that, like, you don't really know who you can trust, the fact that you get these crazy stalkers that are going to break into your house almost 100 times, the fact that nothing is private, the fact that everyone has something to say about your business, it is a hefty price to pay, and not everyone can deal with it. So while Ariana isn't really showing sympathy to the situation with Ethan's ex, and maybe trying to put herself in her shoes and see how that would feel, they have a young child, you guys. Like, when Ethan left his ex and when Ariana got together, like, that had to have been... Let me stop. Let me not even try to speculate the timeline. It's just fucking close. It's close. But, so we have that out. I do think her PR is trying to, like, rehab her reputation, because right now she's just seen as cold, lacking empathy, and people are calling her all types of homewreckers. So that song released on Friday. We get the article about this guy breaking into her house and stalking her almost 100 times, and then we get this article. So then yesterday, Page 6 puts out an article talking about regardless of what people have to say, there is absolutely no hard evidence that Ariana did anything to separate Slater from his estranged wife. Her PR team is working double time. But girl, what did you think the response was going to be for you to say your business is your business is your business, my business is my business, and it doesn't matter whose dick I ride? Like, yes, girl, we know that's true, but optics are everything, and people do not take kindly to cheaters or people who are involved in that, or, you know, people getting involved with men that leave their children or don't care. I'm not saying he don't take care of his kids, but it just gets touchy. People just are not partial to that, and especially when you have no empathy about it, it's just kind of like, what if that was you? What if that was you, Ariana? And she seems to always be in these situations, like Naya Rivera, Janae Aiko. Like, come on, this is not the first time this has happened. So Ariana's relationship morals are just like, do I feel bad she has a stalker? Yes. Do I think the timeline is shaky? Yeah. Do I feel like she's showing lack of empathy with that lyric? Yeah. But this article says that her and Ethan, it's all peaches and cream, okay? All peaches and cream, all above board, no home wrecking. Let's see what this says. Regardless of what people have to say, there is no hard evidence that Grande did anything to separate Slater from his estranged wife. The Broadway star 31 filed for divorce from a completely blindsided Jay, with whom he shares a 17-month-old son, in July 2023. I remember her saying that the ex-Jay came out and was like, had no fucking clue that he was trying to divorce her. Completely caught her off guard, and that's what has people thinking, because he was working for Ariana, they had a little thing going on, and then he up and asked his girl, who just had a baby, for a divorce. It just doesn't look right, Ariana. By then, Page 6 had already confirmed that the Thank You Next singer and Slater were an item after meeting on the London set of the film adaptation of Wicked in early 2023. Grande and her husband of 2 years, real estate agent Dalton Gomez, finalized their split in October 2023 after Page Six confirmed the dissolution of their marriage in July as well. Although Grande and Slater's new relationship was reported around the same time as their breakups, the actual timeline of their romance is unknown to the public. Okay. Like, you're not telling us anything we don't know. The timeline is sketchy, and this whole article is making it that much further sketchy. Furthermore, the person close to the situation told Page Six that Slater and Jay had been broken up for 2 months before he started romancing the Grammy singer. I mean, 2 months? A whole 60 fucking days? That's fast moving. That is so fast moving. 2 months. You've had a child, you do all that. You know what? The only hint that something shady went on came from a heartbroken Jay who told Page Six in July 2023 that the former Nickelodeon star was not a girl's girl. Yeah, because she had been liking pictures of Ethan, Jay, and the baby. Like, it's all weird. It's all weird. It's not a good look, Ariana. The optics are fucking terrible. Yes, you're probably hella annoyed that people are calling you all types of home records, and I mean, it just looks bad. But you then making this song, yes, and kind of like you have an attitude that we give a fuck, also just is not gonna put a good taste in people's mouth. So this rehab of the stalker to try to get sympathy, I guess, timing is just so perfect, isn't it? I don't know. Ariana just really, I mean, I think she's so talented. I think she can sing, okay? And not just sing, she can sing. But I think relationship wise, I wouldn't want my man to be around her. JK, because if a man's gonna cheat, he's gonna cheat. That has nothing to do with us. But you know what I mean? Like, she does seem like that girl that if she sees somebody and she wants them, she's gonna get them. It does not matter if they're attached. It doesn't matter at all. If she wants them, she's gonna get them, and that is it. And these guys can't seem to resist the Ariana Grande. So she's, like she said, it's nobody's business whose dick she's riding. So we'll leave it at that. But I just wanted to get on here and talk about this because I'm just like, girl, please. Please. The internet is so interesting and fickle. They were literally tearing Ariana up. Just horrible, okay? Saying all types of things about Ariana, digging up her old relationship history, connecting dots, saying she's always been like that, this and the other. And we just looked at the Page Six article that says, you know, despite what everybody thinks, Ariana had nothing to do with the breakup with Ethan Slater and Lily J. So now hashtag apologize to Ariana is trending. And you know what? I'm sure some of the same people who are in the hashtag apologize to Ariana were the same ones going in at her when the news first broke. And it's just like, yeah, it's a Page Six article, but when you look at it, the ex, Lily J, did come out and say she was blindsided by the divorce. She had no clue, and it was 2 months from the split from him going to talk and be with Ariana. 2 months. 2 months. That's where empathy comes in. Being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, because how would you feel if that were you, if you were the Lily J in the situation? Being the Ethan Slater and the Ariana in the situation, you don't give a fuck. You're flying high. You've got all the money in the world. You're an international superstar. Everybody knows your name. You can get anything you want. Ethan is probably literally feeling like he's reached his peak, living his best life, even though people don't find him attractive. Oh, that doesn't matter because he's got the Ariana Grande. So empathy, people. Yes, we don't know what went down in the timeline. Yes, Ariana has every right to be in a relationship with Ethan. you know, even if it was only 2 months, at the end of the day, everybody wants to love and be loved. So it just sucks that this happens sometimes in relationships, and they're so complex. So I guess apologize to Ariana. She's not a home wrecker. It was 2 months. Even though Lily was blindsided, it was 2 months before they got involved, Ethan and Ariana. So apologize to Ariana, I guess. Okay, I thought I was gone, but I'm not, because I just saw this come across my timeline, and I am nervous for our Housewives, like the franchise as a whole, you know? It's just concerning what's been going on, in particular, Real Housewives of Potomac and Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, we know Real Housewives of Atlanta just came off a very dry season, okay? And Andy and everybody were all in agreement that there needs to be a shakeup with Atlanta. There needs to be something. But I don't believe it needs to be as extreme as a whole reboot like we've seen with the ladies on Real Housewives of New York, right? I don't think Atlanta needs that. I think we can get some new, fresh faces, some fresh storylines, and go from there. But a whole reboot, I feel, is unnecessary. And also, I mentioned it in another video. I think I did it. The producer off of Atlanta, the last season, Eric Fuller, apparently is looking for work. It seems like he has got fired and is no longer producer on this lackluster season that we experienced with Atlanta last year. So it seems like they are really starting from scratch and trying to give us something fresh. But I'm concerned because I just saw this article from Love B. Scott, and it says Candy, yeah, the Candy Burgess, Candy says Bravo still hasn't asked any of the RHOA ladies back and says they're tripping. So that means no Kenya? I mean, Candy has been on it for umpteen fucking years. She's a staple. I'd like to see Candy stay. Kenya, she has to be there. I don't understand how she hasn't gotten a contract back. There's so much story with her. Please let us know what's going on with Mark. Give us some dating. Give us your hair salon you just opened. The drama that has to do with that. All of that. Sheree, I can live with her. I can take her or leave her. She never really provides story, but she's one of those, she kind of moves the story along, but she doesn't really give her own story. But the fact that none of the ladies got him back, not a single one, like Drew, I even would have liked to see come back because she gave so much of herself last season. I think that it was due for her to get another season and see her on the other side of this divorce and being single and doing her own thing. I'd love to see that, but Candy says nobody has been asked back. Love B. Scott writes, it's been nearly 4 months since the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 15 reunion wrapped, and still no peaches have been picked up for the next season. During a live broadcast, Candy revealed that Bravo hasn't asked any of the ladies back yet, and she didn't sound too pleased. Candy always came off as that type that I think she felt like in her head, I could take it or leave it, like the show doesn't need me, I don't need the show. And she's been there so long, maybe she just assumed she would always be there, but then you start getting nervous when what you always thought would be there no longer is an option. It's okay if you are being the decision maker, if you're, oh, I can take it or leave it to the show, but if the show is saying, oh, we can take it or leave it to you, that's where we have a problem. So I'm sure she didn't sound pleased, because Candy is all about her bag, and yes, she has many of them, but she's not the type to want to lose not one, okay? So she said they still haven't told anybody who they're bringing back. Yeah, they're over there being real, they're tripping. People got lives around here. We got to make plans for other things. So she sounds annoyed. She sounds pissed because she's like, I don't know if I'm filming. I don't know if I'm going to get a contract. So that's delaying me from doing other gigs or picking up tours or this, that, and the other, because I don't even know if I'm going to be filming or what the schedule is going to look like for the show, the trips, any of that shit. So she feels like it's putting her other shit on hold because she's wanting to put the show in the forefront. Oh Lord, this is not going to be good. I hope they don't do this. We don't need a whole new reboot. We don't. In a different interview captured by the Neighborhood Talk, Candy said there's a new cast being decided. They're still waiting on the new cast, so I can't tell you anything. Candy's revelation comes just days after Sheree Whitfield says that she hadn't heard anything either about coming back for season 16. Eesh. If you recall, Love B. Scott exclusively broke the news that production was eyeing a reboot ahead of next season, similar to what we've seen with Real Housewives of New York. We don't need a reboot. So that's where the article ends. Candy is not pleased. She's trying to plan things for her upcoming year, but can't do shit because Bravo hasn't given her a contract and or filming schedule, so she's feeling annoyed. But that tells you what she's putting at the forefront. The other shit is determinant on what's going on with Real Housewives. So that tells you something right there. But I hope they don't go that far. We don't need it. We don't need a full reboot. Give us a couple new ladies, but really take the time to vet, okay? Really take the time to make sure they mesh. Maybe do some screen tests. Maybe do some tests, when they put an audience in front of them and see how it takes. Do some of that shit before you give it to us. But we don't need an entire new reboot. That's just extreme. I hope, for sure, out of all of them, I hope Kenya gets a contract. For sure, because there's so much of her story I want to see. But finally, I'm gonna get out of here, you guys, and I hope that you have a great rest of your Sunday.